how are you doing today? So I wanted to show you a different way to make a pumpkin. So you know, we've done the pumpkin a couple of times with a work frame. So the problem with that is that it can be really challenging to get it back and forth and have it be even. Not everyone likes the way it looks when you do it with a work wreath and just pulling it back and forth. So I'm going to show you a different way to do it. This right here is a straw wreath. See, you can see it right here. See there? It's a straw wreath. Okay, and it's just been wrapped with a green trash bag. Hi, Bella. Okay, so it's been wrapped with a green trash bag, and the reason is so that it's just, you know, nice and clean on the end, on the inside. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our orange mesh. So how you do it this way, you're going to need floral pens. Okay, so this is different because what you're going to do is you're going to use the straw base and you're going to use floral pens and you're going to cut your mesh. Okay? Alright, so we're going to start out by cutting 20 inches. Alright, so you won't need 20 inches for the first one, but you're going to need 20 inches for some of the middle. So I just want to get some of these cut. I'm not going to make you watch me cut them all. Alright, for the end pieces, you're going to cut 18 inches. Alright, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do. So I've gotten a few cut. So what you're going to do is you're going to cut your piece, and then you're going to take it, and this is a little different, you're going to roll it this way, like this, okay? You're rolling it lengthwise, and you're going to go to your straw here. You're going to go around, and you're just going to take your pin and put it in. Okay. So you can see what it looks like. Okay. Then you're going to take your next piece, and we're going to deal with that end when we get a little bit on here. Okay. You just want 2 or 3 rolls. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then you're going to go across this one. You kind of want to overlap. You don't have to overlap a ton, but you want to overlap some. Okay? There we go. Now what I like to do is I like to put them down. Okay? And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to put some glue on top of this. The other thing you can do is you can take these and you can run it through your glue and then glue it down. So you see how nice and neat it is to do it this way. So when you do it the other way, when you go the other way, it looks very similar. So you see we have the same kind of thing. The difference is this is going to be more uniform and it's easier because you're not having to deal with this in the back. Okay, so we're going to just keep doing the same thing. So you're doubling it up because you're going to be able to see through this mesh if you don't. Okay, so you just take it, overlap, go around the back. Some glue on it. And push it down. Okay. Okay. So the nice thing is that this straw really does take this well. You're going to have a more uniform look doing it this way, and it really is less expensive and it's easier. Alright, so we're just going to keep doing this exact same process. Okay. Overlap. Okay. All right. So I'm going to cut a few more pieces. Okay. We're going to do 2 more 20-inch pieces. Okay. We're going to do another 18-inch. Okay. And we're going to do a 16-inch. And then one more 16-inch. There we go. Alright, so the 16-inch is for that front piece. So you just want to do the same thing. Make it nice and roll it. And then you're going to take this piece and you're going to wrap it around the end. Okay? So you just take your pin, stick it in there. Make sure you have it overlapping that first piece. I like to do this last because it makes it a little bit easier to make sure you get it in the right place. Okay, now this is a 12-inch, but you can get a larger one. You're just going to use more mesh. All right. So make sure that it's going to stay covering up that first piece. Okay? And what you can do is you can put a little tiny bit of glue in here and just glue it down. All right. Let's do some more of the 20-inch pieces. So this is just a couple-inch roll. But you know, you have to do what works for you, what you like. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Let's do another one. Alright. Make sure you're overlapping. I like to make sure everything is nice and secure. Now we're going to cover the back, so you don't need to worry about it. Okay. I think we might need one more 20-inch. Okay, so you're not going to use a whole roll. Okay. I'm just folding it an inch or two. And I want to make sure I have excess because you want to always go and overlap that last piece. Oh. Okay? So it's okay if you have more than you need. It's better to have more than you need than not enough. Okay, you want to make sure it's nice and tight. So you see how that looks? Alright, let's do, this is our shorter piece. Let's do our longer piece. This is our 18-inch. Okay. There we go. Okay. We're gonna whoops. We're gonna fold it over here. It's always easier when you're ending it than it is when you're starting it. So don't be concerned. That's just kind of how it works. Alright, and if you see a piece moves, okay, just move it back. And then you can use another pin to make sure it stays. So that's one of the reasons I like it, is because you're putting pins down and the pins are more likely to stay in place. They're not going to move a tremendous amount like it does when you do it the other way. Okay. So this is our little piece that goes on the end. Alright, so you just want to overlap it. We'll do one side at a time. Okay. Hold that one down a little bit too far. So if you do, just take it out and put it back in. Okay. There we go. All right. So I'm just gonna make sure this is kept back here so you can't really see it. Same thing with this one. All right. Okay, so what I like to do is I like to decide, okay, which side is the best side. Okay, you could do your, now you could also use this to do one of the ghosts. Okay, you would just do the white, and then you would put the two eyes and the little face. You can put your bow up here, you can put your bow here, you can put your bow here. It really just depends on what you like. But one thing you can do before you're completely done, before you make your bow, is what I mean to say. I will get out some antique wire. This just means that it's wire that has been covered. Just has this nice look. Now I have a brown one. They come in several different colors. Okay, I'm just going to cut some off. But it's nice thick wire and it's covered in this kind of like rope. Okay. And this is going to be our hanger. So I like to say, okay, which side looks the best? I think this side looks the best, so this is going to be my bottom, this is going to be my top. I'm going to do mine this way. So what I do is I just take this, I make a little hook, and then I take this piece right here, and I'm going to kind of make it into a circle. And same thing on this side. Okay, like that. Then I'm going to take two pins, I'm going to go through that circle and tie it down. So you see? Okay, and then I'm just going to come back and put glue on some of these spots. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take just a piece of felt, and I am going to cover the back. So I like to cover the back just because it's just nice to kind of cover it and make it so it's just not so obvious. So what I do is I mark here and here. Okay. Now cut it out, and I might cut it a little bit beyond so I can make sure I have enough, because I can trim it down. Okay. And you can get these at craft stores or at Walmart. Okay. All right. So what this does, this helps to cover the back, okay? It helps to keep all of your pieces in place, so you don't have to worry so much about them coming off. And it covers the back and just makes it look nicer. So I'll just kind of trim it a little bit. I'm not really looking for perfection. It is the back. I just want to make it look a little bit nicer. Okay. It's pretty close. Yep, it's pretty close. All right. So what I'll do is I will run some glue along this. So I'll turn my hot glue gun on. The other thing you can do is you can get a placemat and you can do the same thing. So these are Dollar Tree placemats. You would just trim it off and fit it to the size. So I wanted you to see that as well. So you get very little fray doing it this way. You are cutting it, but you're covering it up. Okay, and it doesn't look that nice and neat from the back, but it looks very nice and neat from the front. Okay. Alright, so while it is heating up, I'll trim this piece off a little bit, I am going to pull out the ribbons that we're going to use to make a bow. There we go. Alright. Okay, so you see we didn't quite use a half a roll. About a half a roll maybe. Now you could also do this exact same method with burlap. So if you prefer burlap, you can use burlap as well. You would do the exact same thing. Just makes it a little bit easier. Okay, so we're still waiting on the glue, so let's make our bow. So I'm going to make a bow for this pretty thing here. I've got multiple selections, so let's see what we like. I like this one. Okay. I definitely like this one and this one. See, all these colors match. I really like this one, but it is so much like that one that I'm not sure I'm going to use that. I'm definitely going to use this one. And I think we should use that one. Okay. So, we are going to use our Easy Bow Maker. I like to use this because I think it is very easy to understand, and it just makes it faster to do your bows, and it's inexpensive. So right now this is like $6. You can get it at Hobby Lobby in their Christmas section. Alright, so I'm just going to zoom in so we can do our bow. Alright, so this came from Gordon's, which is a store that's in New Orleans, but it's very pretty. So I'm just going to go down to the 8, so 8 inches. One of the things I like is it has measurements on here. I'm just going to stick it right in between these two sticks here. Now this one here is if you make hair bows, which we're not doing. I twist it, and see, the reason I twist it is because when I come back up, then the pretty side is up. Okay, so we're going to do 6 inch. Okay, we come back to the other side, twist it when we come back down. Okay, see, all you're doing is putting it in here and adjusting it to make sure you have the right length. Okay, so let's do one more loop with this. Okay, there we go. Okay, twist again. So each time you come back to the center and put it down, you've got to twist it. Okay, so this will be our last loop with this ribbon. So you can go back to this board and make sure it's the right length. Okay, twist. So you're always twisting to get this side here. Alright, so now I can just use this one to find where I need to cut this off. Alright, so we're done with that one. One of the things I like about this bow maker is you can go ahead and move your loops around so that you're not having to do that so much when you get it off. Here is our second 2.5 inch. This came from Hobby Lobby. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing, 8 inch tail. Alright. And we're going to do 6 inch loop. Okay, so there's one 6 inch loop. There is 2 6 inch loops. Okay, so I'm going to move this up and move this up. I'm going to do one more with this. So I want 5 of the 2.5 inch loops. Okay. Okay, there we go. Now I'll just trim this off. Okay. So see, we already have our loops where we want them to go. I can take this one off. Then we're going to use our small ones. So I'm going to go with this one first. I'm going to do more like a 18 inch tail on this one. Okay, I'm going to twist it in the middle, and I'm going to go to the 5 inch. So right to the 5, okay, twist. I can move my ribbons over and find the 5, okay. Alright, we'll do one more loop with this. So we want the 5 again. So I'm just using the other loop to measure. Right there. Okay. Alright. And I can trim it off. Alright. So we're almost done with our bow. Okay, we'll do this one next. Okay. This one also came from Gordon's. Right. So we're going to do 2 loops with this one. So, just using this other one to measure it. Okay. There we go. Move this one up. Move this one up. Alright. There we go. Then I can use this tail to trim it off. Okay. Alright. This is our last one. I just really like this one. So we're just going to do 1 loop with it because we don't have a lot of it. But it just really makes a nice statement. You don't have to twist this one because it is the same on both sides. It's one of the reasons I like it. And I believe this one came from Hobby Lobby as well. Let's see and make sure it's the same length. Yep. Alright. And then we'll trim it off. And we're done with the bow. See, that's not hard at all. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take a zip tie and we're going to slide it right under the bow here. I like to do this just to make sure my loops aren't going to come loose. I'm just going to tie it off a tad. I don't want to tie it off a lot. I'm going to pull it out. I don't need this now. And you see, you can see where it was in the maker. So I just move my tie over until I get in the middle. Okay. And before I'm completely done, I'm going to put a wire in here. I'm going to use one of these pre-cut wires because they're nice and thick. They're like 24 gauge. And all I'm going to do is take it and slide it under the zip tie. Okay? So I try to get it in the middle. The reason I like to use this is because it's really thick. Okay, now before I get it tied completely, I like to kind of mess with my bow a little bit. Get it kind of moved around a little. Okay. There we go. I always start from the bottom with my bows. It just makes it a lot easier. I want these all coming down. Okay. Let's move our 2.5 inch a little. Okay. So I'm just kind of alternating them. Okay. And then once I have them pretty much where I want them, this one. There we go. Then I will pull it tight. You can actually use your pliers and pull it. Get it real tight. Then you can take your clippers and cut it off. Alright, now you have a couple choices. So you see, you can see that. You can either tie some ribbon around it or you can put something cute in the center. So, but our glue gun is ready now. So I'm going to run some glue around this felt here so I can get it glued down, and then we can work on the next piece. Okay. There we go. So I'm going to flip it over, get it on there. I'm just going to push it down. Okay. And as an added security, I'm going to pin it down. I'm not going to pin it down in a whole bunch of places, but in some. This is just an added measure to keep it down. It is glued well, and you can go around after you've done this and see if there's anything you need to trim off. Okay. One more around our here. All right. Now, I always keep spare leaves around because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some glue where I put that, and I'm going to put a leaf right there. No one is going to know that this wasn't intentional, okay? It covers up your mechanics, gives it a nice look, and it will prevent it from scratching your door. So what you don't want is for it to scratch your door. So I just grabbed some extra leaves and cut them off. Okay. And I just glue them right on. It's just a great little thing to do to cover this, because you don't want it to scratch your door and you don't want it to look ugly, because you might have a glass door. Well, who wants to see this from the back? Okay. Yeah. Okay. What did I do with the last one? Oh, there it is. Perfect. All right. So now the back is ready. The front looks good. Okay. So this is how it's going to look. So you see it's nice and covered from the back. The front is all nice and neat. Okay. And we have our bow. So our bow is going to go up at the top, and what you can do is you can take your wire and you can run it right through the top. So I like to run it kind of right through the straw, just to make sure it's not going to come loose. That's why I use the thicker wire. Okay. I want it to be very high up at the top. Okay. So you can see here's where my wire is. I'm going to tie it off in the back. So I want it to be nice and tight. And I'm going to trim it off. And I'm going to tuck it right under that felt. Now I'm going to drop a little glue in there to make sure it stays down. It's not going to scratch anything. Alright. So now we can play with our bow. So this is why we cut these longer. So what you do with these is you just take them, you stick your fingers in, and you just roll them up. So it just makes a really nice little look. So just roll it up, just like this. There we go. Okay, and this one. All right. This here, you can either cut at an angle like that, or you can cut it in the dovetail, okay? But I am going to cut these at an angle. All right, and I'm going to kind of move them back here. I kind of want them to be over here on the side. So, let's see, they need to go this way. All right, because I want these cute ones, these cute little ones that are curly, to be kind of down in the front. Okay, like that. So just take these and move them over to the side. Okay, and then take these and roll it up like that. Okay, let me pull this back up. So we have all these little pieces curled. The next thing you need to do is just fluff out your bow. So you have it on here now. You just want to stick your hands in and fluff it out. Okay, so we've got some pieces coming down here. We can put these down here like this. All right. So this is why I like the 2.5 inch. It really does stand up nice. So the next thing you can do once you get your bow on there, you see how cute that looks? And you see how simple this is? So it looks nice from the back, minus that little glob of glue. But it really does look nice. And it's so much easier to do than the other method. It really just is. So it's less having to fuss around with it. Okay. And if you're worried about how it looks, you can even double up some more. Okay. Now what I like to do is I like to kind of decorate the bow a little bit. So I have some little picks and different things. These actually came from the Dollar Tree and they're adorable. So now you could also do this with Dollar Tree. You would just want to do it lengthwise and roll it over. You'd have to overlap it a little bit more, but you can do it. So what I do is I just take these and I just cut some off. I like to push it up to the top. Cut it off. You want to cut off enough so that you can get it kind of underneath your bow. Okay. So see, I'll push this up like that. See? We have this cute little acorn. We have these nice colorful leaves. So see, what you do is you just kind of put them in your bow, in and around your bow, like this, so that you have things kind of coming down and coming out from your bow. So what I do is I just run some glue along it, like this. Okay. And then I'll lift up my bow and I will glue it right into the bow. Okay. This one is a little bit longer than I need, so let's trim that off. You can also stick it in your glue pot, which is really just a glue skillet from Walmart. I mean a electric skillet. There we go. So see, now we have something coming down here. We could put something kind of in here. So let's trim a little off. Okay. I just kind of lift it up and glue it down in there, like that. You just kind of want it to be peeking out it helps to make your bow part of your piece. It gives added value. It's just a really great thing to do. It's so easy to do. You could do flowers. See, I have flowers like this, so that would be cute coming out. You could even put that in the center. So sunflowers are always great for something like this. I have a pick with a little pumpkin in it. So you can also take these apart, but I'm going to actually put this kind of up top. So you don't need a ton of glue on it. You just need enough to get it in where you want it. Okay. Oh, that's what that is. Okay. Okay, I'll fix that all that. Alright. See, we have another one here. And you know what? You can put as much or as little as you want when you're doing these. It really is just up to what you like. So just kind of pop it in there, let the glue do its part. And for me, this is really a lot about the bow. So little things like these berries here are always cute to have coming out of the bow. Just gives a little bit more interest. But I'm not going to put a whole ton of things in here because I don't want to detract from the bow itself. So you see, so this is just a really simple, easy project to do, and it just looks adorable. See that? All right. So you'll have to tell me what you thought, because I think it turned out so cute. See, you can do anything you want to with these little curlies, because they're just fun. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this and that it makes it a little bit easier for you to make one of these, because I wanted to have one for Thanksgiving. So I wanted to whip one up real quick, and I thought it'd be great to show you what I was doing while I was doing it. All right, well, I will see you again soon. Thank you so much for watching. And make sure, if you would like to learn more about doing these kinds of designs, that you come and join my design group. It is $14.99 a month. I show you all kinds of tricks that I have learned over the years, and how to pick out colors and how to design, and we just have a lot of fun. I do lives every week just for my group. Plus they get a percentage off in my shop, and they also get first opportunity at my kits. So have a wonderful night, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.